Alright, this video is about signaling equipment for your bug out bag, for hiking, for camping, that sort of thing. I didn't see a lot of videos on YouTube talking about it, so I figured I'd just make a quick video, show you what I've put together, maybe give some ideas to some of you that are thinking about the same thing. What I decided to build a kit around is this Maxpedition micro gear organizer. I've got it stuffed pretty much to the max, but I think it offers a lot of capabilities for what it is. And I'm just going to bust into it and show you what I got. Alright, we open it on up. And first things first, I have just a small flashlight. This one here, this is kind of a little bit difficult to get out. This one here is it's called an Ultrafire. These are really cheap flashlights. You can buy them on eBay or Amazon for about $3. They're all aluminum CNC machined, and it's a fairly good flashlight, and it fits for this kit. The next thing is it's called a glow tube, and this is basically a battery powered chem light, and you can turn it and use it for a light source. But you can also turn it several times and it can offer strobe. Strobe is very important for signaling. They say you can see this for about 1.5 miles to 2 miles, somewhere around there. The next thing is just an Adventure Medical Kit's Slim Rescue Howler. It's a very loud whistle, and it's extremely compact, and I felt that it works good for this kit. The next thing is just a Sharpie pen. This one here has a pen style on one end and a marker on the other, and I've kept it wrapped to keep it from drying out, and so that I can rely upon it until I need it. The next item is just a very cheap cigarette lighter. I chose this style over a Bic because it has adjustable flame, and there's no child safety lock. As you can see, it puts out a pretty good flame for that. The reason I put it in my signaling kit is for the sole purpose of just building signal fires. I do have my fire building kit, but this lighter is dedicated just for the purpose of signaling. I have a small section of cordage, and this is not 550 cord. It doesn't have inner strands, but you can use this in conjunction with your battery powered glow tube, and you can tie it on here, and you could swing it around your neck or around your head, making a 10 to 12 foot arc that is more visible to aircraft should they actually come looking for you. Then I have another source of fire. This is just a very thin ferro rod and the striker that goes with it. Next, I just have a simple pen. This one is made by Inca, and it's just small and compact, and it also has a little stylus on one end if you need that. The next thing is a True Flare pen launcher, and this will shoot a projectile out up into the air about 200 yards, and aircraft can see you. Also ground search and rescue teams that might be looking for you. And they have the three cartridges that go with it. Next up, I have just an extra pair of batteries for the glow tube, and I have a single-use chem light. This one will last for about 6 hours, and the idea is with this is to do the same thing with your string, or use it as a dedicated light for yourself. Next up, I just have a little card here. This is from Randall's Adventure SE knives, and the reason I put it in here is because it has the survival basics on there. But the most important thing for the signaling purposes is the ground to ground to air distress signals that you could lay out on the ground. And I also have some alcohol pads. The idea with these is also along the lines of your signal fire. You just take your knife and make an X and pull a little bit of the alcohol soaked cotton in there, and it makes a great tinder to start your fire. Next up, this is a rescue banner. It's just a piece of plastic that has the words "help" printed on it, and it folds up pretty good size. You could leave this on your vehicle if you're leaving your vehicle or wherever you tried to leave from, so that people know where to begin looking from you from the air. And I got about 15 feet here of trail marking tape. You can use this to obviously to signal on its own, but also to mark your trail and show rescue the path and the direction that you left. So they have something to go off of. Then just a package of waterproof MRE matches. Toss those in there. And next up, probably one of the most important items, a glass signal mirror. This one is glass. There's a lot of plexiglass ones on the market, but you're going to get further distance using an actual glass one. This one has the hole to look through and directions on the back if you forget how to use it. Next up is another means to make fire. If it ever came to it, you could use this Fresnel lens here to make fire in the daytime using the sun. And this is just a very small, thin roll of black tape. You could use this to tape a message on a tree and say, hey, this is who I am, I'm lost, this is where I'm going. Basically leaving clues behind, so if rescue has to come in and try to find you, hopefully they'll find your note and have some indication of your intended travel. And my dog barking in the back and ruining the video. And the last thing from this kit is a Greatland laser rescue laser flare. This is basically a laser, but instead of, as you can see here, the further I get away from it, this line gets further and further and apart rather than just a single dot. And with this, you can signal aircraft from many miles away, and plus it also has a little sighting sight here that you can line up and look through the sight and know where you're aiming the laser. And that is all contained within the Maxpedition kit. Just here on the end, I just have a little dog tag that has my name and my information on it, my address, my phone number, that sort of thing, so that if they find you, they know, and say you're unconscious or whatever, they know who you are and they know who to contact. They have an idea of you know, where to who to notify if they found you, should you not have made it out alive or what have you. So this is all contained into the one kit. A couple other things that I do want to talk about for signaling purposes, which I think signaling is probably one of the most important things, because if you can let people know where you're at in a survival situation, perhaps things like filtering water and all those other survival tasks might not be so important if you can be found. You won't have to spend out there, a week in the woods having people look for you and having to have gear to survive, if you can let somebody know where you're at prior to leaving, but also be able to contact people once you're out there and request help. For about $35-40 online, you can get a basic ham radio. And this one here is a Baofeng UV500 or UV5R, and you can get the silicone cases and stuff for just a couple of bucks. Get different antennas for just a couple of dollars, and this gives you the ability to send out a mayday and let people know where you're at. So I think it's something, especially for the price point. You can take the antenna off; it doesn't take up hardly any room in your pack. And although I suggest getting a ham radio license in a dire emergency, the FCC has deemed that you don't have to have a ham radio license to operate that. And like I say, this is probably one of the cheaper models. You can move up, and you can get different models with more options and more waterproof capabilities and more wattage, things like that. This one here is a Wuxon. I believe it's called a KG UV6D or something like that along those lines, and it's also a great radio. Another thing to perhaps consider is one of these called a DeLorme inReach, and the inReach doesn't go through radio waves but goes through satellite, so you can text message anyone anywhere in the world. There's no down areas. It runs through the Iridium network and allows you the capability to send an SOS signal to GEOS, which is a national recognized search and rescue agency, and as well as being able to just check in with your wife, your girlfriend, and just say, hey, I'm fine, I'm going to be late, and have two-way communications. And I think this is definitely something to consider. That being said, this is my signaling kit, and thanks. Bye.